Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. O my Lord, expand for me my chest, ease for me my task, and remove the impediment from my speech so they may understand what I say. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ramadan FM. We are live on 87.7 FM. I'm going to go through the studio lines and WhatsApp numbers with you now. We're here live from Evington Road, 207 Evington Road. The studio line for you to call and talk to us is 0116 4822 086. I'll repeat that slower because I always get told that I talk too fast. 0116 4822 086, and the SMS or WhatsApp number is 077 488 55055. I believe we're also live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. No TikTok. Yes, it is against TikTok. No TikTok today. It's okay, inshallah. I have a guest in the studio with me today, and we're going to be discussing something really amazing, something that we're doing as Leicester Hospitals Charity for the first time. But to introduce my show a little bit to you, it's called this year Little Hearts with Leicester Hospitals Charity, and the reason why was because we fundraised for the Children's Cardiac Service during our Big Pledge weekend, which was now coming up to a couple of weekends ago. It was the second weekend in Ramadan, and you know, we raised an incredible amount of money to support that venture at CPICU at Leicester's Hospitals. So for those of you that joined in, that supported us, that shared the message, that shared your words of encouragement and inspiration and advice, Jazakallah so much. You know, it's only because of you that we're able to sit here and say that we actually hit our target of £41,000, which is incredible. And yeah, the entire team did an amazing job, and we can't do that without the community and without the support of everyone that we have here in Leicester. And that leads me on to my next thing, and I have the lovely Asiyah with me here in the studio. I'm Asiyah, but you're also Asiyah.
I am indeed.
You are, and Asiyahs are the best.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
I 100% agree with you too. We're just going to be each other's echoes all of this show.
This is it.
Introduce yourself, Asiyah, for the listeners.
So my name's Asiyah. I'm also known as Pooja as well. So a lot of people know me as Pooja. So I'm the centre manager at City Retreat Leicester, which is based on 74 Churchgate in the heart of the city centre itself. Things that we do there, so it started off as an Islamic community centre, but we've now actually become a masjid as well. So amazing. We open for 5 times Salah, from Fajr all the way up until Isha, and right now during the month of Ramadan we're doing Tarawih every night, and there's loads of sort of initiatives that we've got involved at the City Retreat. So we've got our Welcome Project where we support refugees, asylum seekers, we do private tuition, we do sporting activities, we do a madrasa, we've got tafsir classes going on at the moment. So there's loads of different activities going on at the moment which are really, really supporting the wider community out there. So it's been an amazing opportunity to be there and support, and you know, we can't do it without the volunteers and the staff that are there day in, day out, really making it a success for us.
Yeah, mashallah, it's amazing. I think we first met year before last.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
A couple of years. And you took me around the centre, and it is an incredible space. It's a lovely space to have. You have lots of things that you do over the course of Ramadan, but also outside of Ramadan. I follow you on Instagram, and I'm sure some of the listeners do, and we'll go through some of that stuff in just a second. But it's incredible to have a variety of different activities for adults, for children, for community members of faith and no faith, and all of that kind of thing that comes together under one roof to inspire and educate people from across Leicester. There's not many institutions like that, is there?
No, definitely not. I mean, one of the things that I love about City Retreat is it's inclusive, so it's open to anyone from any walks of life. So even if you was to come and pray Jummah with us, for example, on a Friday, you'll see that our congregation is so eclectic in regards to the mix of people you see there. So you've got people that's from, they're Sudanese, they're Pakistani, they're Bengali, they're Gujarati. You've got revets that are there, because we do a lot of work with revets out there as well. I myself, I'm a revet. So becomes a home away from a home for a lot of people that don't feel like they belong to a community. So that's one of the beautiful things about City Retreat, which is one of the things that made me want to start going there, and then now I love helping out there.
So. Amazing. And as your role as centre manager then, Asiyah, it's so strange saying my own name. Sorry. I'm just going to have to cope with that for an hour. With your role then as centre manager, can you tell the listeners a little bit about what it is that your day-to-day duties maybe are for City Retreat?
Yeah, of course. So I look after the overall running of the City Retreat, as well as the staff and the volunteers. But I always say, and if you speak to anyone there that does work there, we always say we're volunteers first before we're staff. One of the beautiful things about things that I get involved with. So I support and work closely with the New to Islam project, which is where we support reverts, or not even just reverts to Islam, but people that may have been born into Islam who have veered away and coming back to Deen. We help them in that circle as well. So that's one of the beautiful projects that I do. It's close to my heart, me being a revert myself. And, I also look after just the general ethos around making sure the centre's tidy, is it clean, making it a welcoming space for everyone. We're in the process of decorating again and just putting a bit of colour back into it, and making it a little bit homely. We've not actually touched the walls for probably the best part of 10 years.
Wow.
So we're in the process right now of starting to just put nice bit of paint colour on there and just make it a little bit more welcoming for all of our users, because it's had a lot of wear and tear.
Which is incredible, isn't it, that it gets used so much?
Absolutely. I mean, for the kids as well. I mean, if I talk about our welcome project alone, these are refugees and asylum seekers who may be staying in hotels. So when they come down with their children, if they got the opportunity for the kids to run around and really get involved with everything that needs to be done. So it really gives them an opportunity to feel at home. Just the other day at Darawi, for example, a little girl came up to me and, one of the first questions she asked me was, do you stay in a hotel or do you stay in a house?
Oh, wow.
And just to hear her say that, and, I sat there on the stairs with her and we had a conversation about, the fact that she stays in a hotel, and, they were running up and down the stairs, but, they loved it because it gave them an opportunity to do things that they won't get to do when they're staying in the hotel.
Yeah. I completely appreciate that. And it gives you a whole different perspective on life and things, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
That not everybody comes from the same as you or has the same as you. And that is an incredible thing. We are doing something together coming up, aren't we? So Leicester Hospital's charity and City Retreat have got a project coming up together next week, actually, which is exciting. It's a first for us. We've never done it in this way before. And so I'm going to tell the listeners a little bit about the project. But before that, we want some interaction, don't we, really?
Yes, absolutely.
Leicester, you can't be sleeping still. It's Thursday afternoon. So it's 0116 4822 086. That's just the studio line. Both me, Asiyah, and my guest, Asiyah, would love to talk to you over the phone if you'd like to call in and share your ideas or share your any experience that you've had either with Leicester Hospital's charity or with the City Retreat. We'd love to hear from you. We like to get feedback and we'll absolutely take on board whatever it is that you've got to say. SMS and WhatsApp number 077 488 55055. If you're feeling shy, then obviously text, but we'd prefer to speak to a couple of people while we're on air. So the project that we've got coming up with the City Retreat is the Eid gift drive this year. It's a project that's really close to my heart because of my personal story and my personal connection with the hospitals that the listeners may or may not already know. And if you don't, please reach out to me separately. I'm happy to take you through that, or you can have a look over my Instagram, which is asiya.parekh, asiya.parekh. And you can find my sort of story and bits of the information on there about the charity and whatnot. But it's a project that's really close to my heart because we started doing Eid gifts for the specific cardiac ward that my Yahya stayed at years ago. And we would go in on Eid Day dressed up to the nines with Yahya, and we'd taken the gifts and we'd give them over to the nurses from him to the other children that are like him. And me and my husband have continued that on even now that Yahya is no longer with us for years and years and years. And being in my post now, I've managed to organise and fundraise for Eid gifts before, but we've never asked for the community to come forward and buy a gift for a child in the hospital. So what you're doing essentially is when you go out shopping for gifts for your children, when the community are going out and buying Eid gifts or shopping for Eid in terms of groceries or anything like that, what they can do this year is purchase an additional gift, 1, 2, 10, however many they want to purchase. We need 300, and they can come and drop it off at the city retreat, can't they?
Absolutely. And it gives you an opportunity to really give back to these children who may have been in hospital for months on end. They haven't been around their friends, and it's about making it special for them that we do for ourselves with our own families and friends. So what a great opportunity to get involved with.
Yeah, it is. It's incredible. You never get to, when I fundraised before for the Eid gifts, and we raised an incredible amount of money. I think it was just over 5.3k, about £5,300 we raised in the space of the month of Ramadan, which was incredible a few years ago. And with that, we bought the gifts. And so you're giving your money over, but you've got no real involvement in picking a gift for a child in the hospital. And what we decided to do this year, from feedback from donors, from feedback from supporters, to say that we'd love to bring in an Eid gift for children this year, where we can't maybe allow for the distribution of the Eid gifts to happen from the people who are buying them for the kids because of infection prevention, safeguarding, and all of the massive logistical nightmare that it would cause for various people coming in and dropping off gifts. What we can do is organise a day where they can drop off the gifts that they've picked for these children to the city retreat. And that date is next week, Thursday, the 27th of March. We're collecting from 1:45 until about 5 o'clock. So we've got lots of slots available. You would call the office and you would book yourself a slot first, so you're not just turning up out of the blue. The number for the office, if you'd like to ring and book your slot, is 0116 258 8531. That's 0116 258 8531. I'm trying to make sure I haven't given the wrong number out, but I think we're okay because I'm reading it from memory. If you'd like to call the office, any one of the team members in the office can help you. Of course, I'm in the radio studio right now. So if you want to call us and tell us that you'll be dropping off a gift, then I can make a note of what time you might like to come and take that and book you onto the spreadsheet when I get back. It's a real important initiative because, like you say, Asiyah, some of these children have been in the hospital for months on end. They don't get to leave. Sadly, their parents don't get to celebrate the blessings of Ramadan in their own home. They have to stay. They don't have to stay, but they want to stay with their child in the hospital. The child sadly can't leave and go home, because if there was any possibility that could be the case, then the doctors would encourage that to free up the bed space and that kind of thing. So you've got children ranging from being there, just for very simple overnight stays, maybe for the start of some medicine, maybe for some routine surgery, all the way to children that have been there for some, I hate to say, but years. Some children have been there for years, and their medical conditions don't allow for them to go home and live a normal life that you and I would see as normal. But for them, this is normal. This is their normality. The Children's Hospital has a school, so their education is taken care of there. They stay, in sort of side rooms where we would normally see them as isolation rooms for wards with adults and that kind of thing on. But for longer term patients, it's important that you have a level of privacy and a level of, your own area that you can call yours for the duration that you're there, especially if you're there for months and months on end.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes we forget, and your story about the little girl who asked you if you stay in a house or a hotel, it's very similar here, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's, they're confined very sadly to the four walls of the hospital, and we get to go home and live our lives and celebrate Eid with our children or families in the comforts of our own home, where we've got so much. And what we're trying to do here is what we do similar to Christmas time or Easter time. It's about bringing that inclusivity and that dawah into the hospitals around. Look at this incredible Muslim community.
Yeah.
I don't celebrate Eid, or my child doesn't celebrate Eid, but I still got a gift. Because that's exactly what happens at Christmas. If there's Muslim children in the hospital at Christmas time, they are offered a gift. At Easter, they're offered an Easter egg. I know firsthand experience because my Yahya was offered those things while we were there. And it's about keeping that going, isn't it? It's about keeping that awareness at the forefront of people's minds, that actually just because it's not a holiday for or a celebration for a community, a particular sect of the community, another community is celebrating something else. And that's the beauty of Leicester, the diversity of Leicester.
Well, that's the beauty of Islam as well, isn't it? Because it's about showing how beautiful our religion is, and the fact that it is about making it inclusive for everyone and make sure that no one feels left out. And I love the fact that we're doing that with this initiative as well. And, you take the opportunity to provide gifts for those who are also non-Muslim, so that they can see actually it's okay, you're part of this beautiful celebration as well with us.
Exactly. And there's so much learning that can happen from the play specialist perspective in terms of teaching the children about what faith celebrations are coming up. And, we don't just want to do it for Eid and Christmas and Easter. We want to incorporate all of the festivals from all across Leicester and do as much as we can. So if there's anybody out there that would like to make a suggestion for Vaisakhi or Diwali or anything like that, more than happy to accommodate a conversation around what that could look like over the course of the year. But for the time being, it was important to us that we partnered with a space that was generally known for its community outreach and community engagement, if you like. And the City Retreat is very good at that.
Yeah, we definitely love getting involved with supporting the wider community out there. So, like I mentioned earlier, it's so important for us to be inclusive to everyone out there. So even, for example, if a non-Muslim was to walk in our doors, we'd open it up to them, and we keep it very open and spacious. And because the City Retreat is based upon our prophetic model, so, it's all about the Quran and Sunnah, due to the diverse community that we get there, it also gives us an opportunity to support even the different schools of thought and the different diverse cultures that we've got within Islam, and make sure it's inclusive for everyone. Getting involved in some of these organisations and getting involved in community outreach, it's so important to us because it is part of our ethos. It's about making sure that we're doing that outreach to all types of communities out there. And this is a great initiative for the listeners out there to really get involved in, and really think about how they can give back to the community. Because like you said, it's not just about giving back to our Muslim children out there, it's about giving back to anyone that's there in hospital. And, for anyone that has to stay there for long periods of time, or even if they're just there for a day and it's over a celebration where that you're going to miss out with your family and friends, let's try and make it special for them. Yeah,
exactly that. You've hit the nail on the head, haven't you? Because it's not just about the dawah aspect and the aspect of having something to give children for a particular celebration. It's about the smile that you're going to bring to that child's face. Can you imagine how they would light up in the morning given an Eid gift? For they don't expect it. They don't come into the hospital and expect to get a gift for Eid or a particular something for a celebration. And that's where the charity comes in. So we all know that the NHS is very sadly underfunded, and it's under constant strain and pressure, and where, yes, we don't fund anything that we should get funded from the government for, we do fund all of this above and beyond stuff, and the Eid gifts and Christmas gifts and all of the other celebrations form part and parcel of that, because where we do fund medical equipment and where we do fund capital projects and refurbishments of certain areas, we don't very often get to do a physical involvement of handing out gifts. It's an incredible thing to be able to do, and we always were so taken aback when we had the opportunity, when we had Yahya and we were in the hospital, with the gifts that the nurses would come around with for us over Easter. I mean, he was a newborn baby and he got about 15 Easter eggs.
Oh, wow.
He can't possibly eat 15 Easter eggs even if he was older. But it's that, isn't it? It's that somebody somewhere in the community has thought about you and your child being in the hospital is exactly what went through my head at the time. Yeah. Because you're there, you're locked away, you understand that a whole world is happening outside of those four walls of your child's hospital room. And you can feel really disconnected from that. Yeah. Because you're staying away from it all, and you're having to be in a particular place through no fault of your own or your child's. Yeah. It can be quite isolating for one, but it can be so heartwarming when you receive that on a day like Eid or any other faith celebrations that I've mentioned, where you know that somebody has thought about you, your child, although they're living on that outside world that you're at the minute not a part of. Yeah. And it's a lovely thing to do. And community is so important to the City Retreat, and it's so important to the work that you guys do there, that actually for this particular activity, there's no better partner for us. Absolutely. It's important that, we let the listeners know that you'd be dropping the gifts off to City Retreat. City Retreat would be our hosts for the day. We would. And you would come in, you'd be able to experience all that City Retreat is about. You'd be able to meet Asiyah and the team at City Retreat, and even stop for salah, stop for some prayers, make some dua while you're there, and speak to people. Yeah. It's so important that we don't forget about these hubs of the community that operate all year round, and you guys operate as a charity as well, is that correct?
Yeah, so we're a registered charity. So we're fully funded by donations and fundraising. That is it. But so we're a registered charity. There's a lot of things happening at the moment, and it just really gives for us, it was about making a space for people to feel safe, to come and feel at home, and people can come there. I have people that come there. There's a lovely uncle that comes to the masjid every day, and he sits there and he reads Quran all day. And when I don't see him for a couple of days, I get worried. Yeah. When he does come in, I'm like, Uncle, where have you been? Yeah. And he's like, oh, sorry, beta, I was poorly, or I was at home, or I couldn't get out. And they become like family to you, because everyone that comes through that door, we make sure that we give our salams, we go and spend that time, we take the opportunity to speak to our users. And really make it that welcoming space. So, if you do come down on Thursday, inshallah you all do. We do we do Dhuhr Salah at 12:45, and we'll be doing Asr Salah at 3:45. And 1 hour before Maghrib, there's going to be some youth talks happening at the moment on the Thursday. So something that you can come and get your children involved in. Yeah, amazing. And then you can come and break fast with us as well, because we'll be putting iftar on. So, it's a great opportunity for people to come down. But a question that probably some of the listeners might be asking, Asiyah, is what's the age range that they're going to be buying gifts for?
Absolutely. So we house anywhere from newborn to 16 in the Children's Hospital. Wow. So I should probably read the link out so people could go online and check. So if you were to visit leicesterhospitals.charity.uk/Eid Gifts 2025, it's got a list of all of the things that we recommend that you buy, because they're the kinds of things that the play specialists know can be easily given out. Yeah. We need approximately 300 gifts, because there's about 150 odd to 200 beds in the Children's Hospital for inpatients, but we also want to try and cover off any of the outpatient departments. Yeah. any of the outpatient departments over the course of the Eid weekend, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any additional gifts would still be used to give out to the children over the course of that period. Now, you'll have some of the listeners may have seen on socials and that kind of thing that we've collected cages and cages of toys before over Christmas periods or otherwise. And while that served a purpose for a little while for us, and we were able to store the gifts and use them throughout the year for maybe patients who had longer stays or patients who had birthdays while they were in the hospital, that kind of thing. Space doesn't allow for us to collect that volume anymore. Space is very sadly a huge premium at a hospital site, and any small amount of space that is available tends to be taken up to use for patient care or anything to do with office space, etc., etc. We had a message on the screen just now that said, would you give Easter eggs given the season? We have got an Easter egg drive coming up, so we'd like to keep the two separate where we can, just because we don't want to mix the messaging that we're giving out, especially considering Easter is not until the middle of April this year. We've got an Easter egg drive, and you're more than welcome to call the office on 0116 258 8531 if you'd like to book a slot on the Easter egg drive. The Eid gift drive is specifically for toys and things that people want to bring in to give as an Eid present to a child in the hospital, and you can do that by ringing the same number 0116 258 8531 and booking a slot from 12:45 onwards on Thursday, the 27th of March. As Asiya asked me, the Children's Hospital houses 0 or newborn to 16 years of age. So we have three categories, essentially. We have newborn to, say, 2-ish years old. We have toddler, infant to toddler, and then we have preteen and young adults. As you can imagine, a fluffy blanket that's used for a newborn baby can't really be used for a preteen adult. So we're asking for things like pamper sets for the teens, books, get like small gaming devices or wireless headphones, that kind of thing that can be given out to them, where for the younger children it's so much easier to buy for them, isn't it? Because you could buy anything and they would be happy. Jigsaws and board back books and fluffy blankets or vests or clothes or whatever that might be. There's a whole list, there's a wish list on the website. So the easiest place to go is leicesterhospitalscharity.org.uk/Eid Gifts 2025. And you can pick and choose what you would like to buy from there. Make sure to call and book a slot, because otherwise we won't be able to accommodate you on the day. We don't want to be inundated with gifts and have to turn anybody away. So please make sure you book a slot.
Brilliant. And Asiya, one more question as well. I'm asking for the
No, please. Like. You know what? It's the show host is supposed to be Asiya, and we didn't specify which one. So
I had a question for you in the sense of, because I'm just trying to think, if I was listening in, what sort of questions would I have? And there may be parents out there with children who may want to make Eid cards, for example, or Ramadan Mubarak cards, or, is that something that people can come and donate as well?
Absolutely, as long as they are not sealed in envelopes, so that the play specialist can make sure to check them before they give them out, and as long as they don't have any direct religious wording. What we can't do is be seen to be encouraging any particular religious activity within the hospitals, because we don't want to push that upon anybody. What we're doing is marking a festival and a celebration here. So as long as they have your Eid Mubarak and they're quite clean in terms of wording, I hope you have a happy Eid, or I hope you have a nice day regardless, or anything like that is more than okay. But no direct reference to religion, essentially. So all of these things are possible, and we say the same for Christmas and Easter. We mark them as being the Christmas toy drive or the Easter egg drive or the Eid gift drive, because they are the names of the festivals. And you can't get your point across without using that terminology. But what we don't do is on Christmas is hand out Christmas cards with any religious symbolism or anything like that on it, because again it would be exactly the same thing as Eid and what I've just said here. So we tend to steer away from the religious aspect in the hospitals, but put the emphasis emphasis on the diversity and the inclusion that we would like to see within our communities. And so that the children there know that they're being thought about regardless of whether or not they're in a hospital or they're at home. If you imagine if you've got nieces or nephews or children in the family that you see opening Eid gifts on Eid morning or whatever time on Eid day, a child that's in the hospital really misses out on that.
Of course.
And it's such a sad thing for the parents also to have to watch them miss out on these festivals and celebrations that are so important to them as adults from the community. So what we're doing is trying our best to make sure that Sorry, gone quiet. I shouldn't have gone quiet there. We're on radio. I completely forgot that. Yeah, I'm surprised Yasir hasn't shouted at me for that. I've just had a message, or we've just had a message in. Do the children want anything specific? They haven't asked for anything. We haven't told them that this is happening in the hospitals. We would just like to surprise them on the day. But if you go on to the website that I read out before, which is leicesterhospitalscharity.org.uk/Eid Gifts 2025, or if you call the Ramadan FM studio, we can help you with any of the details over the phone as well. That's 0116 4822086. Or if you ring the office directly, that's the Leicester Hospitals Charity Fundraising Office on 0116 258 8531. They will be able to help you with any of the information that you need. But the website is absolutely the first place that you should start. And please do ring in and book a slot for you. I've had another message as well, Yasir. Can you keep it on the screen? Hello, I have just visited the Eid gift drive link, but there's no option that our money will be going to the Eid drive. I don't live close to Leicester, so unfortunately I can only donate money towards the Eid gifts. Please advise. Okay, so there's that's a really good point, and thank you so much for bringing that to light. So what we're not committing to do is going out and purchasing the gifts ourselves, because we don't know what amount of gifts we're going to get on the day, and we don't want to be in a position where we've got so much that we're unable to give out and be wasteful about it. So we're asking for donations on that page towards the children's services as a whole, rather than a donation for an Eid gift. So listener, if that makes sense, then that's great. If you'd like to get in touch with me via my Instagram, maybe I work for Leicester Hospitals Charity, so I'm an employee of UHL of Leicester's hospitals. I personally, not in my role as being the corporate fundraising officer for the charity, but from a personal perspective, I would be more than happy to go out and buy your gift for you. So if you want to just message me on Instagram, Asiya.Parekh, ASIYA.PAREKH, I'm more than happy to, if you wanted to just send me across the money, and I will go out and buy your gift for you. We can have a bit of back and forth on what it is that you might like for me to buy, and I'm more than happy to do that. It doesn't cause me a problem at all, because I will be shopping for my nieces and nephew this week. So leaving it all last minute and all of that, Asiyah, it's the way we work. So
I think I've resorted to just giving money now. Yeah. All the kids are too old, so I'm just like, here's an envelope.
Here's some money. Yeah, here's an envelope. That's probably a better way, and maybe I should start doing the same. But it's the joy of the kids ripping open the wrapping paper for me. When you watch that just it reminds you of, I mean, when we were young, I probably can't speak for you, Asiyah, because I'm not sure when you reverted and when you may have started celebrating Eid. But for us, when we were young, all of our relatives would always give us envelopes of money. And as great as that was, but actually your parents kind of nick that money.
Of course, you never
and put it away for you, they say, but they take it off you, don't they, when you don't get to buy what you want when you're younger and all of this kind of stuff. But it's that joy for me now with my nieces and nephew now. My sister's just had a little one who's about 8 months old. It's that joy of watching that smile on their face when they're ripping open the wrapping paper and they're so excited about what they might have got as a present. And we they say, don't they, that if we make our celebrations as fun as possible for them, they won't feel as though they're left out at Christmas time or on birthdays if you're one or the other for celebrating birthdays or not, or that kind of thing. So yeah, it's the same for the kids in the hospital, really. We want to make sure that they don't feel like they're left out. We want to make sure that they feel like they're a part of something bigger in the community. So no, absolutely, listener, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to go and purchase the present and give it over on the day from you, no problem at all. Businesses out there listening, there's absolutely ample opportunity for you to get involved, especially if you are a toy business or an arts and crafts business or anything like that. Please reach out to me either via the charity's number, the charity's Instagram page, or my own Instagram page. Call the office 0116 258 8531, and either me or any of the other members of the team in the fundraising office will be able to help. We've talked a lot about the Eid drive, and I think we'll put a pause on it there for now, because I don't want to keep going over and over the same information again. But if any listeners want to know or have missed anything and you've just joined us now, then please do just text into the studio on 077 488 55055, and we'd be happy to take you through what we've been discussing about the Eid gift drive at Leicester's hospitals. Tell me a little bit more about the way in which the City Retreat operates. So you mentioned that you have all of these amazing programs for reverts, and you have tafsir classes and kids activity sessions and all of these amazing things. How do people book on to all of that kind of stuff?
So we've got our Instagram page, and we've also got a WhatsApp group. So you can join our WhatsApp group, which will give you all the information in regards to any upcoming events. And you also got our Instagram page, and we've got our website as well. And we've also got a Facebook page as well at the moment. And TikTok started. It's slow progress, but we've got an amazing media lead, Hala, who's working tirelessly to really start shaping up our media element at the moment, which has been great during the month of Ramadan, especially. At the moment, just for the listeners out there, for some of the things that are coming up. So this Saturday, for example, we're going to be doing a 23rd odd night event at the City Retreat. So we'll be there till 2, maybe a bit later, maybe Fajr. We're just deliberating at the moment in regards to what that itinerary looks like. But it really gives people an opportunity to come. We're going to have a few talks on. We're going to be doing the Hajjat there. We're going to put refreshments on, and offer a suhoor package at the end as well. So that's going to be coming up. And Eid Day is a beautiful day at City Retreat. So on Eid Day, we're going to have two Eid prayers this time round, because actually we start to get a lot more users come down. Mashallah, which is just what we wanted. And we also put on our Eid brunch for families, so they can come and stay for brunch, and then we keep the centre open till about 3 o'clock, and then the staff and the volunteers get an opportunity to go home and spend the rest of Eid with their families. But there's great stuff going on at the moment, and Instagram's a great opportunity. So it's the City Retreat, very easy to find,
simple, that's what we like.
And we'd love to start seeing more new faces. We've got some great initiatives going on at the moment, and come and support us, come and volunteer, come and spend time with us. So we have community iftars that we do as well. So Friday and Saturdays we feed 200 to 230 people that come down. During the weekdays we're feeding about 100 people, 120 people. So there's a lot of stuff you can come and get involved in. Help us out, come and donate for us. Whatever it is you can do, if you want to come and sponsor an iftar and get the reward for that, absolutely come and get in touch with us. And, we'd love to have you be a part of our journey as well, because there's so much that we want to do and we want to continue doing, but we can't do that without the support of everyone, just like for you guys as well. Having the support of the community out there, that's what keeps us going, and being able to do right by you guys is so important to us.
100%. I can't agree with that more, actually. It's all of these initiatives, and you know, I've and as I'm sure you do, Asiya, have spoken to so many different people from different organizations in the third sector, in the voluntary sector, and everybody says the same thing, don't they? That actually the work that we do is only a testament to the funds that are available to us. And you guys are our means of doing some amazing work. So, you know, thank you so much for your support of Leicester Hospital's charity, of the City Retreat, and organisations similar to those. You help to keep us running. You help to make sure that all of these ideas that we have as employees of these organisations are able to be well rounded off and funded. You know, things like the Eid gift drive. It's until you donate the gifts, it's just an idea.
Of course.
It doesn't, nothing will happen with it until we've got the support from you. So we're so grateful for everything that you've helped us to do so far, and we hope that you would continue to help us in the future. And that goes for everything that we're doing at Leicester Hospital's charity, as well as for everything that the City Retreat are doing, all of the amazing work. So is it oh, here we go. The kids will be waiting for their gifts, Kala, so you better get a move on. That's from my sister. The kids will be waiting for their gifts. They will be waiting for their gifts, and they will absolutely get their gifts, so you can give them that bit of good news. And yes, you're right. I should get these Asiyah's last minute. I'm confused. Was that from you, Yasser? I'm not sure what's happening here, but I'm getting strange messages on the screen now. My nieces call up every day to Ramadan FM twice a day. They ring once in the morning at the 8 a.m. show with Jannah, and they ring the Rayan Club with Sis Aliyah daily. Every single day. I think they've got about 3 prizes waiting for them in the studio. It's incredible. So actually what I'm going to do, Farah, is take these prizes, wrap them up and give them as the kids' Eid gifts.
Why not?
Excellent. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to do that, guys, before you think that I'm going to nick prizes and give them out as Eid gifts. I'm absolutely not going to do that, but I will bring them home for them. I was going to ask you, Asiya, is it as simple as just sending you a DM on Instagram at the City Retreat and saying, I would like to come to X class? Is there a booking form? Is there fees? Is there anything like that?
So it kind of differs. It differs depending on what activity it is. So like, for example, Eid brunch, you know, we are asking for a donation of £3 per person. And that's just purely because, you know, we are a charity at the end of the day. You know, we're trying to sustain ourselves. Or like, for example, coming to Darawi or coming to the community iftars, they're free. You know, these iftars, they're sponsored by people in the community. You know, may Allah reward you all abundantly. I mean, honestly, like I said, we can't do it without the community supporting us and supporting the users of the City Retreat. So, you know, the iftars on the Fridays, Saturdays, you know, Sundays, during the week, it's all been sponsored by everyone in the community.
That's amazing.
So you just turn up, come and break fast with us, come and really get the fruits of what we do. You know, 1 hour before Maghrib every day there's an activity going on. So on Mondays we've got sisters Quran classes. On Tuesdays we have a brothers halakha circle on Quran classes. On Wednesdays we do a tafsir class, or it's a tajweed class. It's one of the two. On Thursdays we do youth activities. On Fridays we do tafsir. So it is tajweed on one of the other days. And then on Saturdays we've got our new imam, so Sheikh Abu Bakr Al-Khalafi. He's an amazing sheikh, mashallah, that we're so blessed to have at the City Retreat, and he's going to be doing a talk on a Saturday as well. So, you know, come and spend that time with us and really enjoy what we've got to offer. But yeah, like I said, with the activities it kind of differs. But majority of our activities are actually free of charge. What we try to do is get people to come and sponsor us and help us make these activities a possibility for the community. So for example, you know, Ustada Davina, she does an amazing sister
may Allah bless her. She's incredible.
She does so much for the City Retreat. You know, she does all of our children's activities. And again, when we do children's activities, yes, we charge a cost, but that's purely for materials. And you're right. You are a charity. You have to sustain yourself. And, you know, this is a not-for-profit organisation, and the emphasis is on the not. Because what you aren't doing is buying something for £1 and selling it for £5. No, of course
And
not.
it's the the same at the charity, isn't it? We are raising the funds to be able to support a better community.
This is it.
And that's exactly what you guys are doing in your own way, and us in our own way, and all of the amazing organizations out there, all in their own way. So if anybody wants to, I'm just going to go through now that we've got a minute and a bit left. I'm just going to go through and remind everybody about the Eid gift drive, which is on Thursday the 27th of March. Next week, Thursday, guys, so we want a really full day if we can. It's going to be at the City Retreat on Churchgate in town. All of the information is available on leicesterhospitals.charity.org.uk/Eid Gifts 2025. If you'd like to call the office and book a slot, please ring 0116 258 8531, and either myself or any one of the members of the fundraising team will be able to help you, get you booked onto a slot. Me and Asiya will both be there on Thursday. We'll be there to welcome you. You're welcome to drop your gifts off, stay for a little while at the City Retreat, enjoy what they have to offer, and we'll transport all of the gifts over as your amana to the Children's Hospital, ready to be given out over the course of the Eid period. 10 seconds out. Lovely having you, Asiya. Jazakallah so much for coming. Not at all.